Guys, so today we're going to work through some practice problems together. I had a pretzel. So in front of you, you have a table, and we have 4 different waves. We have infrared, red, violet, and ultraviolet. And we want to find the frequency, the wavelength, the energy in joules, and the energy in electron volts. So we have here the equation to find energy. So it's simply Planck's constant times the frequency of the light. I've provided the conversion between electron volts and joules. So remember, electron volts is just a different unit of energy. That was a dog booger. Okay, and then we still have velocity is equal to frequency times wavelength, where since these are all waves on the electromagnetic spectrum, the speed of the wave, what we call the speed of light, we represent So hopefully you found that the frequency is 3.75 times 10 to the 14th hertz. Huge, right? So now we can find energy in joules and energy in electron volts. We simply have to use our equation E equals H times F. Since I have the frequency, I can multiply Planck's constant in electron volt seconds to get energy in electron volts, and I can multiply the frequency times Planck's constant in joule seconds to get the energy in joules. Using our equation, E equals Planck's constant times the frequency. When we use Planck's constant in electron volt seconds, we get about 1.55 electron volts. And when we use Planck's constant in joule seconds, we get a very different number. 2.5-ish times 10 to the negative 19th joules. So I want you guys to try the rest of this on your own on the assignment that I posted. So the second question, determine the expression for the energy of a photon E in terms of Planck's constant, the speed of light, and wavelength. So hopefully you give this a shot on your own, but I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So we start with our 2 equations, E equals H times F and C equals F times lambda. And really what we're trying to do is get rid of the term for frequency, right? So I'm going to rewrite my C equals F lambda equation, F equals C over the wavelength, like so. And now I can replace the frequency in my energy equation. So I get E is equal to H C over wavelength. And it's just another way to solve for energy if I have the wavelength instead of the frequency. So I've kind of simplified it into one step. The next question on this is looking at energy levels. So the energy levels of a hypothetical atom are shown in the graph below. And what this means, remember, is this is the kind of space that an electron can occupy around the nucleus, right? So if we kind of think of that planetary orbit model, you can have electrons at any of these levels depending on the amount of energy the electron has. And this question is saying if an electron is in the n equals 3 state, draw on the graph the different ways that the electron can return to its ground state. So take a moment, kind of sketch this out on a piece of paper so you can actually draw. And what we would do, so it's in the n equals 3 state, right? And we wanted to get back to the ground state, n equals 1. So I would show on my image with an arrow that the electron can move from the n equals 3 state right to the n equals 1. So that's how I would show that. I would just draw an arrow from the n equals 3 to the n equals 1. The electron could also take a path that takes it to n equals 3 to n equals 2, and n equals 2 to n equals 1. So it would look like that. So this particular electron, we would say has 3 separate ways, 3 different energy paths that it could take to get back to the ground state. So there's that one. What will the electron do to move down these energy levels? The electron emits energy. It's at a higher energy state. N equals 3 had 3 electron volts. So it will emit that energy, either as a total of 3 electron volts, right, from n equals 3 to n equals 1, or it will emit 1 electron volt and then 2 electron volts. So let's actually look at that here. So determine the energies of these 3 photons and record them in this table. So we said that from n equals 3 to n equals 1, how much energy is that? Well, it has 3 electron volts, whoops, and it's going to 0, so that's a total of 3 electron volts. So I would say that the energy from 3 to 1 is 3 electron volts. The energy from n equals 3 to n equals 2 is only 1 electron volt, right? It has 3 electron volts at n equals 3 and 2 electron volts at n equals 2. So that's only an emission of 1 electron volt. And then from n equals 2 to n equals 1, that's 2 electron volts, right? Because at n equals 2, it has 2 electron volts, and at n equals 1, it has 0, so it emitted 2. So now I would like you to determine the wavelengths of these photons and record them in the data tables, or record them in the Google form I'm providing. Express your answer in nanometers. So remember, 1 nanometer is 1 times 10 to the negative 9th meters. And we always know the speed of light. It is always 3 times 10 to the 8th. So you should have no problem finding the wavelengths of each of those waves. So now we have an electron that's in the n equals 4 state. So take a moment, sketch this on a piece of paper, and then draw on the graph the different ways the electron can return to its ground state. So the first path it can take, it can go right from n equals 4 all the way to n equals 1. Right? Can you see that? That's the first emission of energy that it could have. It could also go from n equals 4 to n equals 3, n equals 3 to n equals 2, n equals 2 to n equals 1. There we go. That's 3 more energy emissions that it could have. It could also take n equals 4 and then n equals 3 to n equals 1. It could take n equals 4 to n equals 2, then 2 to 1. See, am I missing any? I think that's it. So we would say, so it looks something like that. We would say that this electron could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different energy emissions to get from the excited state of n equals 4 to the ground state, and she lovely, to the ground state of n equals 1. Finish up that Google Sheet. Good luck.